Ooh, the gym. My old stomping grounds. Hank Patterson, fly fishing guide.
Riley Smith, tight end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the kicker?
No, tight end.
Again, thank you. I'm looking for a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale. But you're not the kicker.
No.
Yeah, nah, the kicker's probably taller and in a lot better shape. So, okay. What position do you play?
Tight end. Squats.
Yeah, try it sometime.
I may be retired, but I still have finances to manage. With direct deposit and automatic payments, ICCU makes it easy to spend less time banking and more time baking.
RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. First up, he led the Broncos to 3 conference championships and 10 20-win seasons. It's Coach Leon Rice. Next, he's the founder and CEO of RowPaint.com. He played a little basketball in high school on the driveway with his mom. It's Andy Rowe.
Oh, no. Want to just paint my house?
Now that I can do. When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that.
See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News as we get you set for the latest news, insight, and analysis as game time approaches. The BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out lithiafordboise.com to view the full inventory of vehicles or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now, let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News.
How we doing, Boise State fans? Good morning. It's game day for the Boise State football team against Utah State, 5 o'clock at Maverick Stadium. We are live in Logan, Utah, getting you set with the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. Lithia Ford, check them out online, lithiafordboise.com. View that full inventory of vehicles. They'll give you a cash offer on the spot as well from their appraisers, so make sure you check them out, Lithia Ford of Boise. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com as well. You saw the new Leon Rice commercial they got going. We'll have plenty of basketball coverage coming up over the next week or so, but those concrete coatings, got it in my garage, got it in my back patio, highly recommend it, but also now's the time to work on the interior painting of your home as the weather's cooling down a little bit. So any of your painting needs, interior, exterior, commercial, industrial, residential, let our friends at rowpaint.com take care of you. So check them out, ROEpaint.com. Let's fill up that ICCU YouTube chat. Let's get some comments going, your predictions, your scores. We're going to hear from Spencer Danielson. We're going to hear from Matt Miller, Kane Ioane, a lot of players. We got a ton to get to here on the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. A big day for Boise State, the post-Andy Avalos era. Spencer Danielson, his first game as interim head coach. He's been the interim coach before, but never had a game where he had to coach. So this will be the first time Spencer Danielson gets to lead his team into battle here as the head coach. When he did it last time, Brian Harsin left. The season was already over. So big opportunity for Spencer Danielson, and looking forward to seeing what happens today. You got some other Mountain West games you got to pay attention to as well. Just turn on CBS Sports Network and leave it on all day. 1:30 p.m. today, you got UNLV at Air Force. That's a huge game for Boise State's Mountain West title hopes. They need UNLV to lose the next two games, and then if Boise State can win their next two games, they are in the Mountain West Championship game. So 1:30 right before the Boise State game. The Boise State game's at 5. Turn it on early at 1:30 and root for Air Force against UNLV today, and so you can get a little help there. And then after the Boise State game, which is, of course, at 5 o'clock on CBS Sports Network, keep it on CBS Sports Network. At 8:30, you got San Diego State and San Jose State. So that's another Mountain West battle. Doesn't have huge implications. You may want to flip over to FS1. I had the channels mixed up there. The New Mexico-Fresno State game is at 8:30 on FS1. And obviously, Fresno State 23-point favorites. But if Fresno State were to lose one of their next two games, you would have a chance for Boise State to also get in the championship that way. Two scenarios for Boise State. They got to win their last two games, of course, starting today against Utah State. But the other two options are, the other things that need to happen are, one, you need Fresno State to lose a game, which is possible, but not likely because they're playing New Mexico tonight and then San Diego State in their last game. But if Fresno State were to lose a game, you win your last two, you're in if you're Boise State. The other scenario, as I said, UNLV loses both of their last two games. Because if you go to a computer ranking, it ain't going to be pretty for Boise State. So you need UNLV to lose both and be knocked out of the tiebreaker. And again, Air Force is a 3-point favorite today, so that certainly could happen for Boise State. You need Air Force to beat UNLV this week, and then you need UNLV to lose next week to San Jose State. And if both of those happen, then Boise State somehow, some way is still going to be in the Mountain West Championship game. Our friend Nathaniel Wilder kicks us off on the ICCU YouTube chat. Go Broncos, tires churning for Logan in T-minus 90 minutes. Drive safe, Nathaniel. Looking forward to seeing you here. He's also got Boise State beating Utah State 49-24. Graham Gibson's got 38-24. Kurt Blake going 33-0. I don't see that quite happening, Kurt, but I'll be honest, I like your score prediction the best. I think this is going to be a blowout. Blowout city. I've been wrong plenty of times before. Who knows? Maybe I'll be wrong again today, but I just feel like everything is leading in the direction of Boise State just opening up a can of you-know-what on Utah State. So Utah State's defense is not very good. That's the first reason I think the offense is going to score some points. I think Taylon Green is going to have one of the best games of his career tonight. I really, really do. I just think the fact that he's not looking over his shoulder every play to see if he's coming out, I think the confidence he's going to have knowing he's QB1 and he's playing this game, and I think there's a little motivation for him as well to kind of maybe show some people that he should have been QB1 all along. I fully intend Taylon Green to come out and play very, very well tonight. And again, part of that is because Utah State's defense is not very good. I worry a little bit about Boise State's secondary. They've got some guys banged up, on the defense. It sounds like Marco Notriani is going to be out. Don't know about Dimitri Washington. DJ Schramm is playing at well less than 100%. And Utah State is able to move the ball and is able to do some things offensively. The stats are decent, but let's be honest here. They're 5-5, and if you look at Utah State's record, and they're probably going to take this, and if they win the game, they're going to use this on their recap video or pump-up video, and that's fine. But look at who Utah State has played. Their 5 losses are against pretty good teams or teams better than them. Their 5 wins are against teams that are not very good. I mean, they've beaten Idaho State, UConn, Nevada, San Diego State, and the only game, I guess, is Colorado State. They have a win over a team Boise State lost to, but I just don't see Utah State beating any good teams, and I don't really see them hanging today. I still think, personally, Boise State is a good team. I think a lot has gone wrong for them this year. I think that there's been a lot of close losses, a lot of things that have happened and gone wrong. I still think Boise State is a quality team, and I think I feel really good about Boise State coming out and playing well tonight. How do you feel? Let us know in the ICCU YouTube chat. We'll get to some of your score predictions. Whoever has the closest score prediction, we'll throw you a gift card from Taco Bell, $20 to Taco Bell. Thanks to our friends out at Taco Bell. If you're looking for a job, check them out. TacoBellWorks.com. They're hiring and at all their locations, and they've got a cool program where you can get half your wages that available the very next day. So if you need some quick cash, they help you out and give you half your pay stub the very next day. TacoBellWorks.com. Check them out. We appreciate SON Management, the Nicolason family, for their support of Bronco Nation News. Return the favor. Go eat some Taco Bell. Breakfast is still going for another 2 hours. Love the Taco Bell breakfast. You heard Johnny Mallory oohing all over it the other day. He loves it. So highly recommend Taco Bell, and we thank them for their support. They are sponsoring the giveaway today for the closest to the score. So let us know what you got, and we'll get to those here as we move along. We got some more predictions and things coming in. We're going to hear from some players and coaches here shortly. 300 rushing yards between Taylon and Genty combined today. I can feel it. I will question you. I will slow your roll a little on Genty. If you wanted to throw in Halani into that, I would say maybe. I don't think Ashton Genty is going to get enough carries to get 200 rushing yards. I'm guessing you're going to get 8 to 10 carries from Ashton Genty. I mean, he's back and he's playing, but he was in a yellow jersey, as you saw in the videos earlier this week at practice. I just don't expect them in his first game back to get 25 carries for Ashton Genty. So I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm usually wrong, but if I had to guess on this one, I think Ashton Genty gets somewhere in the 8 to 10 carry range, and I think George Halani still ends up with more rushing attempts than Ashton Genty in this game. But just having Ashton Genty back for 5 carries or 8 carries is obviously a really big deal moving forward. I'm right by the breakfast room at the hotel. My room is like the next room from the breakfast room, so people keep walking by, and I'm sure they're just going, what the heck is this guy yelling about from outside his hotel room? I know Jonah Dalmas's parents are staying here. I saw them yesterday, so some other players' parents maybe are here, or fans as well, but a lot of people keep strolling by. There's some youth hockey team, and I'm sure they can hear me and are wondering what the heck I'm talking about. So if you're over in the breakfast room listening or can hear me, appreciate you guys. Thanks, and maybe bring me another one of those blueberry muffins. But we're having fun today. Excited to be here. We're going to kick off 36 hours of nonstop coverage for Boise State. We'll tell you about that later with the basketball game tomorrow at Clemson. Our friend Holly Cook, appreciate you, Holly, says Boise State 31, Utah State 28. So Holly's got a close win tonight. We'll see about that. Utah State, a few points. Boise State, more than a few points. I like that, Curtis. I really like that. Harry Balzac, our friend here. What up, Blue and Orange Homers? Appreciate him for jumping in. Michael's dreaming of a blowout, and I think that's not that crazy of a dream tonight, Michael. I feel really good, as I said, about this game. Defense will be shaky against a top 25 offense. Still, we win by 10. Again, I'm not calling their offense paper tigers, but just look at some of the scores and some of the teams they've played. I know Boise State's defense isn't particularly great, but I think Boise State certainly it should not be intimidated or scared, or there's no reason to think Utah State's going to score 40 points tonight. I think This team comes out inspired. I think this team comes out fired up, and I think this team plays extremely, extremely well tonight for Boise State. Let's hear from Spencer Danielson, the interim head coach, speaking with the media yesterday. They do this thing on Fridays, and I know we played this on the show yesterday morning, so if you already saw it, sorry, but I'm going to play it again for the folks that haven't seen it yet. It's only about 3 minutes, but on Friday mornings, the head coach speaks to the media. Usually there's no questions. It's just a quick statement from Andy Avalos, and then he kind of heads back to practice. But Spencer Danielson doing it for the first time tonight or yesterday. He took a few questions. He stuck around afterwards. Twice the SID was like, all right, thanks, guys. And Spencer's like, what else you guys got? He just kind of hung around, kept talking, and it was super informative. You hear about Ashton Genty. You hear about Eric McAllister. You hear about Taylon Green. Final thoughts. And again, I don't know many coaches in America that talk on Fridays the day before a game. And not only that, Spencer Danielson was taking questions. So super, appreciative and thankful to Spencer Danielson. I think it's obvious to all of you watching this that there's a different tone in the speaking of Spencer Danielson and Andy Avalos. I know some of you are not on board as Spencer Danielson for the next head coach, and that's fine. But just from a media perspective, from a public speaking appearance perspective, it is night and day. Andy Avalos and Spencer Danielson, and I don't think I'm telling you something you don't already know. You watch the press conferences, you hear it. There's a huge difference in how Spencer Danielson interacts with the media and talks on camera than Andy Avalos did. It's just their personalities. It's just the way they are, and that's one obvious immediate change that we've seen while dealing with Spencer Danielson. So let's hear from Spencer Danielson, his final thoughts ahead of the game today. This is yesterday, a cold Albertson Stadium prior to practice.
But our guys have done a great job, man. I mean, that's a testament, honestly, and I'm not giving you guys just what you want to hear. I mean, our coach has done a great job. Our players, our leadership, especially when there's a lot of reasons for them to be distracted, right? That's just the reality when something like this happens in college football. And the meetings, the practices, they've been great. And once again, testament to our coaches and our players with the mentality they come to. So very proud of them, really proud of them.
Captain's flags.
Yep, so going through it, guys, so captains for the game is going to be Taylon Green and Ahmed Hosseini. Right, those will be our two captains for the game. Then our flags are going to be Ben Dooley and it's going to be Shea Oladipo. Will be the two guys carrying flags. And like I said, I'm just really excited for Taylon Green, man. You talk about a guy that is a competitor that, yes, maybe there's some things from the season that haven't gone exactly the way he wanted to, but you talk about a guy that loves his teammates, competes every day, and he's had a phenomenal week of practice. So fired up for Taylon this weekend, man. He's done a great job leading our offense and being integral in that part. And also excited to get Ashton Genty back. We're going to be smart, but just excited to get him back. He's a huge part of what we do. And he's done a really good job this week getting back from the injury. So those are a couple just of the big points of the game. And an overarching theme for our guys right now, guys, is play fast, play smart, play together. Like, that's us. That's us. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we can't control that have happened, that are going on outside. There's stuff going on in our players' families' lives, right? Play fast, play smart, play together. And this is for our seniors. And the crazy part about college football is a week ago, there was a lot of different things going on here, right? No one really knew if we even had a shot to play in a championship game. Obviously, fast forward a week, a lot has happened, and our guys have done a great job kind of handling those things.
Who's carrying the hammer, and why did he get selected?
Chase Martin is carrying out the hammer. He had a couple really big plays on kickoff, one on kickoff return, and he's a freshman that we're really excited about. So he'll be carrying out the hammer, and he's fired up.
Anything about McAllister you can say?
So right now, guys, I mean, we're still working through the process. But right now, we're not going to let him back on the team as of right now. I love EMAC, and I say that from the bottom of my heart. I know, BJ, you had a great conversation with him yesterday. But right now, for our team, that's where we're at. Will that change next week going forward? As of right now, it's not going to. That's where we're at with that situation.
Did that go to a players' conversation?
There was a lot of conversations. No, 100%, Mike. I mean, because at this point, that's what it's all about. For me, for our staff, it's about our players. And just working through the best process for our team. And obviously the best thing for EMAC going forward. So right now, that's where we're at. There was not any big reason. There was just, we went through the process the right way. We got with our leadership, got with some more of our players. And so that's where we're at.
There he is, Spencer Danielson, meeting with the media yesterday. And again, appreciate him for his openness. stayed after and talked to us for a while and told us about some of the guys that were banged up, some guys that may play today, may not play today. I mean, let's be honest, the list can't get any longer than it did last week, so I don't think there'll be any huge surprises today, but just getting Ashton Jeanty back, I think, is a huge deal. As I said a little earlier, though, not expecting him to have a monster, 25-carry game, but who knows? The game George Jelani came back, we didn't think he'd do very much, and he had like 19 carries or something because of the injury to Ashton Jeanty. So I think getting both those guys back, and again, finally, do we see the Ashton Jeanty, George Jelani, Taylon Green, the three-headed monster? Is today the day we finally see it, at least in some capacity? I saw somebody in the comments say, I think Bush Hamden may run a trick play today, a couple of trick plays, maybe even the Statue of Liberty. They haven't run many this year, so that wouldn't surprise me if Boise State runs a few trick plays today. And like I said, it's just a whole new vibe, whole new atmosphere right now. And so I think that here's the comment. Predict he throws in a few crazy trick plays, maybe brings his own Patton and Statue of Liberty play. He's the one Pete said came up with the original play. Wouldn't shock me one bit. To see them. I think Taylon Green needs to run a little more today, too. We all remember that 91-yard run he had against Utah State last year. I'd like to see Taylon run a little bit. I guess now with Maddox Madsen out, maybe you have to be a little more careful about things, knowing that you don't know exactly what the situation is there, and you've got C.J. Tiller and Colt Fulton waiting in the wings there. So I've heard some really good things about Colt Fulton, by the way. Everyone just assumes that C.J. Tiller is next man up. Keep an eye on Colt Fulton, and a little nice added bonus. I know he's a walk-on, but he's a lefty. Colt Fulton's a lefty. He'd be one of the first lefty quarterbacks here since Kellen Moore to get in and complete a pass. If that happens, he may be the first. I'm trying to remember. But keep an eye on Colt Fulton. If they get to a bowl game and for some reason Taylon Green decides to transfer or whatever happens, and you got C.J. Tiller and Colt Fulton, I think Colt Fulton, the walk-on, would get some time. I've heard he's doing a really good job behind the scenes. So keep an eye on Colt Fulton as a good name to watch here in the quarterback room, at least for the rest of this season. Bill saying, tell Taylon Green not to hurdle anybody. Let's see. Oh, that was that one. Yeah, that would be nice. Ashton Jeanty, Taylon Green, don't be risking the jumping over the guys tonight. Ashton, Helani, TG10 all have over a 20-yard rushing touchdowns. That would be something to have 323, but I could certainly see it. I think you run especially, guys, right now the weather's okay, but it's supposed to be cold and raining and not great weather tonight. Off and on rain, I think, is the forecast. Is going to move in later this afternoon. Just depends at what point it comes in, if it waits till after the game or comes in during the game. But if the conditions are bad, maybe a little tougher to throw the ball. Maybe you just go ground and pound, and you feel pretty good about Boise State if that's the case. If it's hard to throw the ball's wet. If it's windy, I mean, you'd think running the ball, Boise State would be in a pretty good spot tonight, moving forward with the conditions, with the three-headed monster that Boise State has in the running game. We got a ton of players I want to hear from. Markel Reed, Cade Beresford, Michael Callahan. We got some coaches, Matt Miller and Kane Ioane, both had some good stuff they wanted to say. Let's hear from some of the players and coaches to get you set. But first, this is a free show you're watching thanks to our sponsors. And so we're going to take a quick 90-second break to thank our sponsors, and don't go anywhere. We'll keep this pregame show rolling. Keep getting your score predictions in. Keep getting your comments, your bold predictions, and we'll hear from some players and coaches in 90 seconds. Don't go anywhere. This is the Lithia, Florida, Boise Bronco Nation News pregame show. We're in the Cutwater Studios. Perfect day to get some Cutwaters and watch these games today. You got, as I mentioned, the UNLV game at 1:30 against Air Force. 2 for $7 at your local gas station or grocery store. Go pick up a 4-pack. Love the mango margarita, the Mai Tai, all the great flavors. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate. We'll be back in 90 seconds. All Bronco Nation News broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of premix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. For all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just one day. Contact rowpaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. See why more than 500,000 members love ICCU, and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone, get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line, and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com. All right, we're rolling along on the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. Again, LithiaFordBoise.com. Check out their full inventory of vehicles. We are here in Logan, Utah. Busy day ahead for the Bronco Nation News team. You mentioned someone did on there that the rain's not supposed to hit till midnight. Well, conveniently, that is when my flight takes off. We're going to have just a heads up on the coverage here. We are going to have a post-game show tonight. I will be in my car driving to the Salt Lake City airport, so you will hear me, but you will not see me. And we will have Kent Riddle coming in through his computer, so we will have a post-game show. We want to give you guys the opportunity to chat amongst yourselves in the chat, and it will be a different post-game show than we've done in the past, but I will be anchoring the show while driving down to the Salt Lake City airport. Kent Riddle will give his perspective as well, and so we'll try to get you as much insight and analysis as we can, just not in the traditional form, because I'm heading to the airport for a midnight red-eye flight to Charlotte, and then hopefully making the drive and getting to Clemson, South Carolina in time for the 11 a.m. tip-off Mountain Time, Boise State basketball at Clemson. That'll be at 11 a.m. tomorrow Mountain Time. The pregame show, the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show, will be at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Abe Jackson will join me live from the Little John Arena in Clemson, South Carolina. So looking forward to making the cross-country trip tonight while many of you are sleeping. I'll be up all night writing a story on the football game and getting prep done for the basketball game. I don't sleep on planes, so it's all right. We'll get through it, and looking forward to it. I super excited to make this happen. Make it to the football game tonight in Logan, and still make it to the basketball game in Clemson, South Carolina tomorrow for an afternoon. Wish it was a night game. Wish they would have done a little help and made it a night game. 1 o'clock game made it a little tougher having to take the red eye, but it is what it is. So weather permitting and everything, fingers crossed, goes well with the flights. We will be there for the game tomorrow afternoon. So post-game show, it'll be a little, we'll have it. So come on back on the post-game show, chat amongst your friends. We'll get my thoughts. We'll get Kent Riddle's thoughts. Just be a little different show than usual. As I said, we're going to be, I'll be driving down to the airport, and I'll be coming through my AirPods, and we'll make it work that way. But hope you'll join us on the post-game show, and looking forward to hopefully talking about what I think is going to be a big Boise State win. By the way, we're on hotel Wi-Fi, so I apologize if it's not great. Hopefully the signal's okay, but no Ethernet connection at this hotel, so we are on the hotel Wi-Fi, and sometimes it's better than others, so apologize if it's not great. Hopefully it's working okay for you guys, and that's what we're dealing with today. So Kane Ioane, Boise State co-defensive coordinator, the safeties coach, he's going to take on a little bigger role with the defense now that Spencer Danielson is head coach. Spencer Danielson will still call the plays, but Kane Ioane is going to have a big role on that defense as well. I think Kane's going to be a head coach someday, by the way. He's just very well-spoken. The players like him. I think Kane Ioane is a future head coach. But let's hear from Kane Ioane to kick things off as we get you set for kickoff tonight. Boise State at Utah State. Some of the coaches, man, they don't have futures after this year either. I mean, you talk about the players, and they don't know what's going to happen. A guy like Kane Ioane doesn't know where he's coaching next year now. He would hope to maybe stay on with the new coach. He has to wait and see who that is. He's having to look and see what jobs might be open. So these coaches have a lot going on, and their families are obviously very worried, nervous about things that are happening as well. So let's hear from Kane Ioane about the situation with Andy Avalos getting let go and kind of the state of the team at this point.
Obviously, it came as a surprise, and caught all of us off guard, but at the same time, you know you have to respond the right way and continue on the mission at hand and continue to be a guiding and supporting person for everybody involved, including our players. You know, that was a big thing as a staff, that we understood that we had to be there for our players and make sure that we respond the way that they would want us to respond in order to continue on the mission at hand.
And now, I mean, obviously your future's all of a sudden in question too as a coaching staff, you know, with what's going to happen. What's that like for you too, where all of a sudden you've got now to think about your future?
Yeah, you know, that's the part that is always tough in this profession. And I love this profession from the standpoint of what it should be all about, the relationships that you build, the connections, just the positive influence that you can have on student athletes. But at the end of the day, this thing's a business. And we all know that. And college football has become a big money business. And so in turn, decisions have to be made and to help that business grow and continue the way it needs to go and the direction it needs to go. And so being a part of that and you understanding that, you just have to make sure that, all right, what's next, what's potentially next, always planning for the future. But as we tell our players all the time, be in the moment. Right now, as a staff, we have to be in this moment with our guys day to day, help make sure this operation is going the way it should go, continue to be there for our players, continue to guide them through this as well. And if we can continue on that track and just continue to go day by day, then in turn we'll get the results that we want. And then the cards will fall where they fall. And that's all you can do. Control what you can control at the end of the day.
Spencer said that he'll continue to, call plays. He's going to move down to the sideline. Is there anything that will your role evolve or change at all, or with Spence adding more to his plate? Like, what gets taken off of it, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, everybody has to expand their role. Everybody has to pick up some slack here and there. At the end of the day, Spencer's taken on a lot. And so he's got to lean on us as a staff and make sure that we can handle some of these other things and other responsibilities that he was doing during the week that now, because he's got a different hat on, he may not get to. And so us, myself, Coach Chins, Jabril, Coach Demo, all of us have to step up and make sure that we handle all the little things that he may necessarily not get to because of what now is happening and how we have to go forward. And that's just like anything else, man. We talk to our players all the time as far as know your role and own your role. And in turn, we have to do that as coaches right now. And our roles are changing a little bit because of what's going on. And in turn, we still got to own those roles and do everything in our power to make sure this operation is going as smoothly as we can. And again, it's about the players. How can we make sure that this atmosphere is conducive for our players to be successful every single day, create the energy and the enthusiasm that we want as far as the atmosphere in the building, and make sure that when the guys show up here, man, we're rolling.
Seems like spirits are high at practice, energy is high. I mean, has it felt any different to you out there the last 2 days?
Yeah, the guys have been awesome, man. We got a resilient group. We really do. And to be honest, man, that's just who these players are. That's just what these guys are all about. They're all about each other. They came here and they're playing for Boise State football. They're playing for each other. Their teammates, those guys in the locker room, the guys that they spent all this time with over the course of however, some 6-year seniors, some first-year freshmen, but they've, over the course of time, evolved into the family, into a brotherhood. And when that happens, when things like this happen, you just come together, right? And you make sure that you're doing it for the right purpose, and our guys play for our players. And as coaches, we're trying to match their energy, we're trying to match their enthusiasm as much as we possibly can, and we're here for them. We're here to help them get to where they want to get to and to continue this mission that they're all on. They all understand that hey, well, there's still things to play for. There's a lot of pride at stake here. And whatever happens outside of our control happens, but we still are playing for Boise State football and for each other, and that's a big part of this thing.
Well, they're playing for more than pride. They're still playing for a Mountain West championship as well. I know it seems crazy, but they're still alive thanks to some tiebreakers. You know, the win over San Jose State could prove to be huge for the tiebreaker, and then a win over Air Force would prove to be huge as well. So, again, you're rooting today as we take a look at our BVA Dev Mountain West scoreboard, bvadev.com. Check them out. They are, if you're looking for new space, you're looking for a developer, Idaho's developer is BVA, and we appreciate Tommy Alquist and BVA for their sponsorship of Bronco Nation News. And let's check on the Mountain West scoreboard here. I hit the wrong button and got rid of it, so we'll bring it back. But the big game today is 1:30. 1:30. By the way, you got Hawaii going all the way to play at Wyoming, and that's a noon game, by the way. That's just a weird, I don't know, that seems weird to me. Hawaii coming all the way across and having to play a noon game, which is like 8 a.m. on their body clock or whatever it is. That's a weird one to me. That kicks off the coverage today on the Mountain West at War Memorial Stadium. 12 o'clock, you have Hawaii at Wyoming. Wyoming is 6-4, so they're already bowl eligible, but they're obviously trying to push forward and do as much as they can from that perspective. You got Nevada at Colorado State at 1 o'clock. Colorado State hanging on to bowl eligibility by a thread. They're 4-6. They need to win their last 2 games. Nevada is at Colorado State. That game is at 1 o'clock. UNLV at Air Force. Again, that's the game to watch today. UNLV at Air Force. You need UNLV to lose if you're a Boise State fan. UNLV has to lose today and then lose next week, and that's how Boise State gets in the championship game. So CBS Sports Network, 1:30. UNLV is at Air Force today. Both those teams are 8-2 in the Mountain West. Are 8-2 overall and 5-1 in the Mountain West. 5 o'clock, obviously, Boise State at Utah State, also on CBS Sports Network. And then 2 games at 8:30 tonight. You got New Mexico at Fresno State. Remember, that's the other way Boise State could get into the championship if Fresno State were to lose one of its last 2 games. But I don't think they're losing as a 23-point favorite at home tonight to New Mexico. But we'll see. That game is at 8:30 on FS1. And then you got San Diego State and San Jose State. That game is also at 8:30 on CBS Sports Network. San Diego State at San Jose State tonight. So what'd you hear from Kane Ioane? What do you think about what he said, what he had to say? I think he's a very well-spoken guy, and he talked about playing for pride, having a lot of stuff to still play for. But I think Boise State, again, still is not giving up. That's why I think today they just play so well. I just think there's so much in this game. It's even the small stuff. Like last night, Spencer Danielson gave the and I guess I don't know if it was him or who was the one that did this, but usually the night before a game, players get 1 hour to spend with their families. A lot of these families travel from Texas or California, wherever, to see their kids at these games. And in the past, they've gotten 1 hour at the hotel to kind of hang out with their families and play games or just talk or have that time. Well, last night they got 2 hours. So it's the small things like that. An extra hour for parents that come from Southern California and don't get to see their kids very often. They get 2 hours in the lobby last night to hang with them instead of 1. And I know some of the parents went and got In-N-Out Burger and brought it back to the hotel and hung out with the players. So I just think that the extra hour and small things like that to be with their families are all going to pay off. And you get Genty back. You make Taylon Green a captain. He's the QB1. He's going to play in this this whole game. All the new vibe from the new changes on the coaching, to the Avalos being gone and just the energy at practice and still having a chance to win the Mountain West. I just think that Boise State's going to come out and have one of its better games of the season tonight, or at least the table is set. You would think that that's something Boise State could do. Rodney Hansen saying 42-17 is his prediction. Go Broncos. I've had a couple questions on here about the coaching search. I don't have that yet. I think it's pretty early in the process for that, to be 100% honest with you. I don't know if any interviews have taken place. No disrespect to Football Scoop, but I don't think it should be a huge shocker to anybody that Kellen Moore is at the top of their list. I mean, Kellen Moore is clearly at the top of the list. Whether Kellen Moore wants the job is a completely different story. But if Kellen Moore says he wants the job, you give Kellen Moore the job. I don't think that was earth-shattering news from Football Scoop the other day. I don't think that would happen, but you know what? Who knows if Kellen Moore feels like his job could be in jeopardy if the coach gets fired at, with the Chargers, and maybe he just says, I'll give you a couple years to come back and try to help get this thing on track. Maybe he would do it, but I think that's still an extremely long shot. I think Brian Harsin is a long shot as well. I just don't see that happening. I think Brian Harsin at San Diego State would be an amazing fit there. So keep an eye on San Diego State for Brian Harsin, but I don't think Brian Harsin, Kellen Moore, and I don't even know about Kirby Moore, to be honest with you. Like, I like Kirby Moore. He's a good dude. He's doing well at Missouri, but I mean, is Kirby Moore a guaranteed upgrade over Spencer Danielson? I don't know if he is. You would bring an offensive-minded guy back in here, and maybe that's one of the appeals of Kellen Moore. He brings Kirby back as offensive coordinator, associate head coach or something. I don't know. But we'll see, but I have not heard any names. Jesse's asking if I saw the Dinwiddie interview where he said he would jump at the chance to get an interview. I mean, he's talked about that for the last several years, whether it's OC, as an assistant, head coach, whatever. I mean, he just won Coach of the Year in the CFL, obviously is doing things and is a Boise State legend here. I think that would be an intriguing thing, especially if it sounds like he is interested. I have not seen that interview, but I don't know if they'd go in that direction or not. That would be an interesting one. Mark Gonzalez, 30-17 is his prediction. Let's see here. Bold prediction. BSU gets a flag on the sidelines for excessive celebration. I could see that happening. Dayton says, thanks for hustling to get the coverage. No sleep till March. 2 big games. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I said it yesterday. I'm not, bragging that I'm going to both games. I'm just letting you know our coverage plans and letting you know that your subscription is working. BNN50 deal is that promo code if you want to jump on board. $50 for your first year at BroncoNationNews.com. It just goes up to $70 after that. But you'll have Mike Prater's exclusive column coming from this Utah State game. You'll have my coverage of this game tonight, the basketball game tomorrow. All week we'll be in Orlando, and this 11-day trip for BNN costs some money. So if you're able to support us with a $50 subscription, we would love to have it. But just want you to know, I guess, by telling you that we're doing this, I'm not just pocketing your subscription money here. It's going back into the product and allowing us to travel, on a red eye to get over to Clemson for the game tomorrow. So super excited to be there for that. I woke up at like 5 o'clock this morning, rolled over, and I said, nope, can't do it. Normally I would just get up and get going, but laid there and finally fell back asleep and got up around 8 because I knew that it was going to be a extremely long day today into tomorrow. But I'm fired up. Bill's asking if the Clemson game is televised. It's on the ACC network or some version of the ACC network, which I believe is on YouTube TV. But if not, I believe it's on ESPN Plus. So if you pay for the $5 a month or whatever for ESPN Plus, I think you can watch it that way, but I don't 100% know for sure. Jesse, I'm not telling you what hotel I'm at. Sorry about that, man. But you can ask Riddle. You should ask Riddle if he'd come back to coaching. Maybe. I don't think he's quite ready to retire, but I haven't really had any specific conversations with him. But I'll be 100% honest. I think he enjoys golfing and drinking Coors Light and having a good time. And he's doing some other consulting and some other sales stuff, on the side. But I think he's really enjoying what he is doing right now. How about here's a bold prediction for you: receiving touchdown for Herbert Gums. That would be quite the bold touchdown if Herbert Gums were able to get into the end zone. Logan Byler must have joined us late here. Hey, Logan, how you doing? Good morning. Let's see what else we got here. BSU wins. Air Force wins. Genty holds #1 all-purpose rank in the country. Let's effing go. Let's see. Is Keene back for Fresno State? I don't know the answer to that. Fresno game's going to be in the pouring down rain, so you never know. Then I guess maybe New Mexico can give him a game. We'll have to see. Kellen won't take a pay cut. No, I don't think he'll take a pay cut. But I think that it sounds like, from my understanding, is Boise State's going to have some money to pay. I'm not saying they're going to pay $5-6 million, but I think Jeremiah Dickey's going to go out and find the resources. It would not surprise me if they're able to pay more than this job has paid in the past. Now, is that just barely more? Is that a lot more? Is that double? I don't know. But I'm pretty confident in saying Jeremiah Dickey is going to find the resources to elevate that salary for the head coach and for the assistant pool to really get this higher right, I guess, so to speak. Let's see what else we got. Tom says the sound is great, coming in clear. That is good to hear. Appreciate that. And again, when you deal with hotel Wi-Fi, you're not always sure what the situation is going to be. Jennifer says this sounds like the players want Danielson. So that's a good segue here. Let's hear from Michael Callahan. I put part of his interview earlier in the week up on social media, but Michael Callahan is a defensive lineman, 5th-year senior, does have a year of eligibility left, his COVID year. He is ready to run through a brick wall for Spencer Danielson, and I know some other guys are as well. Let's hear from Michael Callahan meeting with the media this week about the change at head coach.
It's been hectic. A lot of things that weren't necessarily expected happened, but I think the team's done a great job of coming together and surrounding around Coach D. The team's super excited about the direction that we're heading. Coach D's done a great job in the last 2 days of rallying the troops and keeping everybody energized and getting everybody excited for the challenge ahead this week.
What was that like? What do you say about Coach D and his coaching style?
Coach D, you can't say enough about that man. He's probably one of the most influential people in my life. He's obviously gonna coach you hard. He's gonna be honest with you. He's a guy that truly cares about each and every one of his players, and he's obviously an intense guy, but we love him and we're super excited to play for him.
What has kind of the mood been amongst the team in the locker room the last couple of days? Not to say people are celebrating when their coach gets fired, but I mean, we'd heard different things. I mean, was it any kind of what is just kind of the vibe, I guess, right now?
Yeah, I think that this team has been a really resilient team throughout the year. We've had a lot of adversity that's hit us. So I think at first it was definitely shock for the first couple hours. People couldn't really believe what was going on, but I think guys did a really good job of understanding that we're still really in the hunt for the Mountain West Championship, and we still have a lot of season to go. And guys did a good job of shifting the focus from shocked to excited about the opportunity that we have to still play with the staff that we have and still play for Coach D and play with each other. And I think the guys have really just done a good job of shifting from shocked to excited.
Was that a pretty quick shift, or how long did it take, really?
It happened on Sunday. Obviously, it took us a few hours to really understand what was going on and really let reality sit in. But guys throughout the day did a good job of communicating. We were here most of the day. A lot of guys stayed around the facility most of the day and had meetings with the coaches and talked things through. But it took a few hours, but guys really shifted their mindset. Right now, we're just totally focusing on Utah State.
Has Spencer come in and changed anything, or is anything being done differently around here?
A few things. I mean, at this point in the season, that probably would have been changed anyways. We're just doing a few things to take a few things off our bodies, as we are going into our 11th game. It was important to change a few things at practice just to make sure that we're doing the best thing for our bodies, to make sure that we're fresh and ready to fly around on Saturday. But besides that, it's pretty much status quo around here. We're just excited to get another week. We got an opportunity to go out on a football field.
It was a little shorter practice?
A little bit shorter, yeah. Nothing too crazy, just a few things cut out.
Obviously, the search just began, but I mean, what would it mean to you and other guys in the locker room if Spencer Danielson got this head coaching job?
Yeah, I don't want to go too far in it right now because I know that Jeremiah Dickey has a process to go through, and we respect everything that he does. But guys here love that man, and people here would run through a brick wall for that man. I would do anything for Coach Danielson. I don't want to get too far into it, but I think that he's definitely ready to step into a head coaching role. He's done a great job over the past 2 days of exceeding my expectations. I already knew what kind of a man he was, but he's been unbelievable as a head coaching role, and guys just love that man.
Is that part of maybe for you, the last couple of games here, like to finish strong for him and maybe give him that chance?
Yeah, that would, it's definitely some motivation. Guys, like I said, the team loves Coach Danielson. He's got every single guy in the locker room completely bought in right now into what we're doing. And like I said, we know that our goal is still in front of us. We know that we have an opportunity to flip around the season, and that starts this week against Utah State. But I think that there is a little bit of extra motivation knowing that if we could perform to the standard that we know that we can perform to with him as the head coach, we know that could propel him to an opportunity.
You told me last week that some crazy stuff had to happen for the championship, and some stuff started to...
Some crazy stuff happened.
So you still need some more crazy, but it looks a little more positive now.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about that in the locker room after the game. Patrick came in and told us the scores, and we were all just sitting there like, oh man, we're right back in this thing. And it really started growing. People are really excited about the opportunity that's in front of us. Obviously, we're not thinking that far ahead, though. This team's done a great job of developing competitive maturity as the season's gone on and focusing in on the task at hand. Right now, we're just focused on Utah State, but we know that there are opportunities ahead of us if we do what we need to do.
There he is, Michael Callahan. Did have a comment that the sound on the interviews is low. I apologize for that. I'm not sure why that is. Hopefully you can just turn the sound up on your TV or however you're watching this during the interviews with the players. So I apologize for that. I tried to bump it up the best I could. I'm not sure why it's not higher. So obviously apologies for that. And we'll have to figure that out moving forward here. But got a lot of comments coming in. A lot of you guys have some good ideas. Jesse says if you want to start a bluegrass funds for NIL, go straight to the players. I'll donate $100 of my paycheck every month. I'm not sure if I want to do that quite yet, but I mean, you have the collective, you have some other ways that you can do that, but that's not something I'm sure I want to completely jump into the NIL game just yet. We obviously have the Tyson Degenhart deal, but ICCU pays Tyson Degenhart, not us. So not exactly sure. Let's see. Jesse's asking about issues of not getting a flight. Wouldn't mind donating some of my travel miles and points for the hotels and companies I fly with. That's very nice of you. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm okay right now. We're doing okay with the subscriptions and our sponsors, and we're able to pay for it. But that's very generous of you to offer. And if it ever comes up, I may reach out to you. But as of now, we're able to just pay for everything and make it work. But I do really appreciate that. That's nice, nice words. Don't know what is about to happen, but we're going to see if Andy was the problem or it goes deeper than that. I don't want to 100% say if they win by 30 today that it just shows Andy Avalos is the reason they aren't undefeated. Like, I don't think that's fair. I get what you're saying. I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily fair. I do think they're going to play better. I do think that, there were some players in the locker room that necessarily weren't fond of their head coach. I think that happens with every team, though, that they have players that don't like the head coach. But it does feel like that there's been a weight lifted off a lot of players' shoulders this week. They're going to go play freely have some more fun. You heard Eric McAllister say in our exclusive interview for subscribers that it was hard to have fun at times around Andy Avalos. So I think that this is a situation where they're going to play better. I also think Utah State's not that great, as I said, which is going to be part of this, but I don't know if it's totally fair to say that if they win by 30, Andy Avalos was the problem all season long. I don't know if I'd quite go that far. But I do think they'll play well, and I do think one of the reasons is the new energy they're getting from Spencer Danielson at head coach. Keep your score predictions coming. Again, a $20 gift card to our friends at Taco Bell. TacoBellWorks.com. If you're looking for a job, don't forget Taco Bell offers breakfast. The Nicolason family, SON Management, we appreciate their support of Bronco Nation News, and we're giving away a $20 gift card to Taco Bell if you get closest to the score prediction for tonight. We're going to tell you about Taco Bell. We're going to play some more interviews. You want to hear from Markel Reed, Cade Beresford, Matt Miller. We can keep this thing rolling. I got nothing to do. They don't kick me out of the hotel till noon, so a lot of stuff still to come, some interviews. Keep your predictions coming, your chats coming, and we'll take another 90-second timeout and be right back here on Bronco Nation News. Bronco Nation News is sponsored by Tommy Alquist and Ball Ventures Alquist, Idaho's premier commercial real estate development company. BVA projects specialize in office, retail, flex, medical, and industrial spaces located at some of the most strategic and visible locations in the valley. Need a developer? Looking for new space? Think BVA. At BVA, we are Idaho's developer. The Nicolason family and SON Management have proudly been operating Taco Bell restaurants in and around the Treasure Valley since 1969. One of the first to make a 7-figure donation to the Lyle Smith Society, they've also stepped up their support of Boise State athletics with the Taco Bell men's and women's basketball endowed scholarships. The Nicolason family and SON Management have committed at least $310,000 by 2026. Get more information on their financial support of Boise State athletics and find information on applying to work at Taco Bell at TacoBellWorks.com. Lithia Ford of Boise is a proud supporter of Boise State Athletics and the official car and truck of the Broncos. Lithia Ford of Boise supports Bronco student athletes through NIL deals, including providing Ford vehicles to Taylon Green and Riley Smith from the football team and Paige Barsh from the volleyball team. Rain's family purchased our F-150 from Lithia Ford. Couldn't be happier with the purchase. Check out the all-electric F-150 Lightning or the electric Mustang Mach-E at Lithia Ford, and make sure to check out their full inventory of vehicles at LithiaFordBoise.com. The Blue and Orange Store is the perfect spot to get all your gear for your next Bronco game. The Blue and Orange Store has official Nike apparel, including jerseys, shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, and more. Wear what the Broncos wear and get it at the Blue and Orange Store, the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall, or get free shipping on a $40 order online at theblueandorangestore.com. Back here live in Logan, Utah, in the Cutwater Mobile Studios, more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Pick a couple up at your local gas station or grocery store. Perfect afternoon to settle in for some Mountain West football. And again, 5 o'clock kickoff tonight, Boise State and Utah State. So far, it's getting cloudy, but no rain or anything. That's supposed to move in later in the day, and we'll see if that affects the game or not. But appreciate all of you for jumping on. We got 11 new comments. We'll get to those here. Let's see what else we got coming in. It did get better. Thank you. I'm not sure if I did anything or not. So I think you might need to just turn your sound up on these videos because we're going to play another one here in a second. Great interview with Eric. Thank you. Appreciate that. Was glad he was willing to do it. I thought he was holding some stuff back, but also thought he said some stuff and was nice to hear his side of things. With what happened. Chase says 56-13. Jenny and Helani combined for 400 rushing yards. I don't think the 56-13 is out of the question, but I do think that 400 yards for those two is out of the question. I don't think Genty plays enough to get that much unless George Helani's rushing for like 250 himself. That would be historic if they rush for 400 rushing yards. So 56-13, probably a little high, but I do think it could be a pretty one-sided game. Anthony says 1 game at a time, start 1-0 today. He's also got 45-31 as his score prediction. David Gardner, appreciate you for watching, sir. 45-24. We enjoyed our time out at Capitol 11. We were out there at the new Capitol 11 building doing our show on Monday with Travis Hawks and Matt Bauscher and Mike Prater. That new Capitol 11 building there at 10 Mile Crossing is just phenomenal, and we appreciate Capitol 11. Their support, and of course the Blue and Orange Store. Hopefully you are purchasing all of your Boise State gear at the Blue and Orange Store. You can check them online, theblueandorangestore.com. Ton of daily deals, flash sales, all kinds of great stuff they have going on at the Blue and Orange Store. So Support the sponsors, folks, and you're looking for that perfect Christmas gift coming up, the basketball jerseys, the hats, bumper stickers, you name it. The blue and orange store there at the mall is the perfect spot, or you can go online. Free shipping, any order over $40 at theblueandorangestore.com. Let's see here. They want to keep it going, so we'll keep the show going. Why not? Let's see. What else we got here? Let's hear from Riley Smith. Again, may need to jack up the audio when you watch this on your computer, on your TV. I apologize if it's low. But Riley Smith, Boise State captain, Boise State tight end. What did he think of the coaching change? Let's hear from Riley.
Well, just what's this week been like? Obviously, I'm sure a lot of emotions, but just kind of how you guys handling it, and going forward, moving towards playing a game on Saturday.
Yeah, it's definitely tough losing someone like Coach Avalos. He's a great dude, and he's done a lot of great things for me personally in my life. So losing him is really hard. But Coach D's done a great job stepping up and leading this team and bringing us all close together. And we had a Sunday where we all kind of talked it out, and we had a players meeting where we just spoke open and honest, and we all just came together and bought in. And the message was 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks guaranteed together, definitely more. And it's just been to buy in these last 2 weeks and do it together and do it for each other and just build excitement within the facility for these next 2 weeks.
After Saturday night, you guys kind of got the help you need to get back in that Mountain West hunt. How much does that kind of help renew your focus on, hey, finishing this season strong?
Yeah, it's great for everything to play out that way. I mean, you never know. Football is a crazy game, but we've just been dialed the whole time. We've just been preparing for the moment. Believing that we're going to play in the championship no matter what, whether it's been an adverse season and it hasn't looked that way at certain points, but you never know in this conference, and our goal hasn't changed and our mindset hasn't changed either.
What have you known different? I mean, this is now your third head coach here, Riley Spencer Danielson.
Yeah.
Second time you've had it.
Yeah, right.
Intern.
Yes, sir.
As far as practicing goes, what's different? Is he peeking over at the offense? What are you noticing? What's your assessment of Coach D so far?
Yeah,
Coach?
I mean, Coach D's awesome. He does a great job of getting everyone to buy in, and he's just been building excitement and joy within the facility, and not a lot has changed. I mean, the standard's the standard. It's always been that way, and Coach D knows that. He's been here forever, and the practices have shortened a little bit, but we're still being efficient. We're getting everything in that we need to, and we're dialed right now. And he's been doing a great job at the forefront of that, and he knows Boise State football and what we need to do each week to keep the brand going, and it's always been that way, and he's just continuing it.
One of the players we talked to earlier this week, Spencer seems to be the popular choice to get the full-time gig. What is it about him that the players are able to get behind him like that?
Absolutely. I mean, his care factor is just through the roof. He gets guys just by the way he builds relationships with them and checks in on them, not only in football but off the field. He just is a loving dude and truly cares about us, and guys would run through a brick wall for him. And he's been the only coach in the 6 years that I've been here that stayed, and he's had many opportunities to leave and go to other places and chase a bigger bag, but he's been dedicated. He's a true Bronco, and we just love him so much, and he's a great leader and motivator for sure, and he does a great job schematically and all the above. So he's an awesome person. I would love to see him here too.
Is there kind of a sense, play for him the final 2 games?
I mean, absolutely, yeah. Our message has been play for each other, play for the players, play for the coaches, because at the end of the year, we don't know what's going to happen within this facility. So we just want to have no regrets and just play for each other and go out and find joy throughout the next 2 weeks.
And the Mountain West, the scoreboard was your friend last week. You guys are right back in this mix.
Yeah.
Have you thought about possibly winning the Mountain West championship? Coach Spencer Danielson holding the trophy, you, DJ next to him. I mean, it's a pretty darn good way to go out.
It would be unbelievable. And we're still keeping that mindset day in and day out that that's going to happen. I mean, we say 2 weeks, but we know that's 4 weeks in our mind. So that would be amazing. And we know how much hard work we've put in, and we've had some balls rolled the wrong way for us throughout this year. And we feel it just starting to come together and kind of go our way a little bit. And if we do get that opportunity, I know we're going to make the most out of it. And we're going to be up on that stage.
Are you thinking of that yet? Are you letting yourself think of that yet? The vivid image that Johnny Ballgame painted there, the stage, and Gloria Navarez handing the trophy to Spencer Danielson, holding it up. You've got Riley Smith, DJ Schramm up there on the stage, the confetti falling, Boise State Mountain West champions. I mean, it's still a little far for me to be thinking about that quite yet. But again, it's not a 0% chance. It's not a 0% chance. You need UNLV to lose today to give you a little better chance. So root for UNLV to lose. That means root for Air Force to win. And if Air Force wins today and Boise State wins, the picture is pretty clear going into next week's games for Boise State. We got a lot of comments coming in here. Let's see what else we got. Welcome back, Genty. Yeah, it's going to be a big one. Great answer, Riley. Yeah, so Riley did a great job. Not sure who My Sugar Walls is here. I think that's a bot, so I'm going to go ahead and get them out of here. My Sugar Walls, I apologize, but you are gone. Let's see. BNN has been a image rehab for previous coaches. Sanford, Bedell, great listens, great insight. When can we expect Avalos to join the team? I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. We'll see. I would say Avalos I reached out and have not heard back yet, so we'll start with that. We'd start with the interview at some point. I don't know if he's really interested in becoming an analyst. And I would challenge that Brad Bedell is incompetent. I mean, I think look at some of the Brad Bedell, the O-line coach always gets ripped, but if you hear Brad Bedell talk, he knows football. And if you look at some of the players Brad Bedell recruited, 2 of them are starting on the offensive line right now. 3 of them, frankly, but Garrett Curran and Ben Dooley both were developed and recruited, and then they got Mason Randolph to commit, but he never got to coach him because he came in after the COVID year. That's 3 guys right there. Don't forget about Keikani Holomia Gonzalez, who's supposed to be a star at center and then had to medically retire from the game of football. So I would challenge that a little bit, but certainly what Brad Bedell is able to do has done some good things, and I think certainly he's showing off a different side of him on these shows that hopefully you guys are enjoying for the rest of the season here, and we'll see where it goes moving forward. Let's see. Next year, hope BSU gets a noon kickoff. There was actually talk about the UCF game, by the way. I've heard this from numerous people that there was they may have even come out and looked and done a site visit or done some research on. But then they went with Coach Prime instead for his second game. But I believe the Boise State UCF game last year was being highly considered for the big noon kickoff prior to Coach Prime going to Colorado, and then what happened with all of that. But big one tonight for Boise State. We can keep this rolling. We got some more players we can hear from. Let's see who else we got here. Let's go Cade Beresford. Want to go Cade Beresford next? Let's hear a little bit from the Cade Beresford, the right tackle for Boise State, about the coaching change and what's going on with the offensive line.
Describe this season one word, Cade.
One word. I'd say resilient. Still fighting. We're still going, and no matter what happened the last couple of weeks, wins, losses, whatever it is, we're still battling and not giving up on this thing. So.
What was kind of this week like? Obviously, losing the coach and then kind of having to refocus on the final 2 games of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we all came together. It's a tough situation. Nobody wants to go through, right? But at the end of the day, we had to deal with it, and I'm glad that some teams in the past I've been around could fall apart easily on this. When a coach gets fired or someone leaves, and we're staying together and pushing through it, and I think it's only going to bring us even closer together and able to finish out this last part of the season.
What have practices been like this week?
Been fun. There's been energy. Even in meetings, you walk into meetings and there's just a lot of good energy. And out of practice, Coach D and the whole staff has gotten us ready, and they've had that great energy just when we get on that field.
What have you seen out of Utah State? What do you think is the biggest challenge that you face with their defense?
Yeah, I'd say they've got a good, front seven, good D-line, good linebackers that are explosive, quick. We know every week is a challenge, and this week especially, they got a good defensive front that we just got to be prepared for. So,
what excites you about, hey, we're all in on Talon? This is back to his offense. He's not looking over his shoulder, and maybe some of the drama for you guys just leave the building a little bit, and you guys can play some ball.
Yeah, I think just Talon, having that shot and being able to step up, and we all know what he's capable of, right? Like, we've all seen it, how he runs, how he throws, everything, and I'm excited to see him really take off this week and show everyone what he's about. So,
how's he been embracing kind of knowing that he's going to be in there the whole game?
Yeah, I mean, I think he knows he's got that that role now, and I think he's ready to step up. His leadership obviously is great. His talent is awesome. I mean, he's got a group of guys that are willing to battle for him and go out there and compete every snap when he's on that field.
There's Cade Beresford, the Boise State right tackle. We appreciate him for joining us. Matt Miller had a great interview. I want to hear from Matt Miller next, but we are going to do our last commercial time out here, so don't go anywhere. You got 90 seconds. We're going to hear from Matt Miller, Boise State wide receivers coach, on the coaching change, on how this team stays fired up and tries to finish the season strong. Great stuff from Matt Miller. We'll take our final time out. Don't go anywhere. Back in 90 seconds. You looking for a new job? Well, how about getting into the trucking industry? Our friends at Transportation Compliance Service can help you every step of the way, whether it's the big rig on your screen, the Amazon truck in your neighborhood, all the paperwork, all the things you need. Let them help you out. Transcomservice.com. They'll have you out there towing that first load in no time. Transcomservice.com. United Commercial Insurance makes business insurance easy. They can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Give them a call, 229-8222. Bronco Nation News, a proud client of United Commercial Insurance. We highly recommend you do as well at UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. The Raines family is happy to have made the switch to Boise Dentistry Co. Highly recommend you do as well. Dr. Miner and his staff, full family dentistry for the whole family. They make it an enjoyable experience to go to the dentist, and we highly recommend you check them out. 5 locations in the Treasure Valley. You may think you're happy with your dentist. You'll be even happier if you make the switch to Dr. Miner and Company. Check them out online, BoiseDentistryCo.com. The pounds continue to fall off, and it's thanks to Dave and our friends over at Lean Feast. Check them out, leanfeast.com/Meridian. Full customizable meal prep. You want to go into the store, pick out your meals individually. That's great. It's right there on Eagle Road in Meridian. Or you can do it all online at leanfeast.com/Meridian, and they'll deliver it to you. 208-487-5782. They're feeding the football team, the basketball team, Taylon Green, Ashton Genty, Tyson Degenhart, and more. Check them out. Lean Feast, leanfeast.com/Meridian. Still time to get that fall round of golf in, and you need to do it at Timberstone Golf Course out in Caldwell. Book a tee time at playtimberstone.com. The best greens in the valley, new technology, new golf carts, friendly environment, fun, challenging course. Check them out, Timberstone Golf Course. Book your tee time today, and I'll see you out there. PlayTimberstone.com. Well, we are back. We got some more to get to, and we're going to have Matt Miller up next. But we're at about an hour and 6 minutes, and we appreciate all you guys. Still well over 100 people that have checked us out here on the pregame show. So whether you're watching us live, whether you're watching this later on the day as we get closer to kickoff, truly appreciate all of you for supporting us and checking us out and watching this. And thank you, Henry, for the kind words. Way to go. You're doing a fantastic job. Dina Curran checking in. I can only imagine related to Garrett Curran. So appreciate you for watching, Curran family, and should be a fun game today. I saw a couple parents last night at dinner and at breakfast this morning, so I know a lot of parents made the trip here, and then a couple I talked to are just going to go up to Boise and stay this week for Thanksgiving with no school this week for the team. So in the Friday game, so we'll see. Let's hear from Matt Miller. We'll keep it going. Matt Miller, wide receivers coach, his thoughts on what's going on with everything and how this team finishes strong.
Yeah, obviously it's a huge change, right? And so things have been different, in a lot of different ways. But I really like the way our guys have responded, the last 2 days of practice. Really good energy. Have gone out there and they understand what's at stake going into this weekend. They prepared really well. And so, obviously a lot of changes going on. So things are different, but really proud of how our guys are responding and how they're coming to work every single day.
What has the atmosphere been like at practice the last couple of days?
Yeah, I think it's been really good energy. Guys are flying around. We're moving a lot with as coaches and moving from drill to drill to drill to keep that momentum of a practice going and make it replicative of a football game. And so be able to play 4 quarters. And I think our guys have done a really nice job starting fast at practice and doing a really good job of finishing at practice as well.
I know obviously the head coach position affects all you guys in terms of future employment and stuff. I mean, what was that like Sunday to get that news and just how you're processing that and then trying to finish out here not knowing kind of what your future is now?
Well, I think I just always want to keep the main thing, and that's taking care of these guys that are playing, this once in a lifetime opportunity to play Division I football. And so, that's sacrificing a little bit of me and my family, what's going to happen to us, but I want to make damn sure that those guys in that locker room are taken care of and they enjoy this experience. And we do everything possible as a staff to prepare them to go play and win games moving forward in the next couple of weeks, because there's a lot to play for still. Other stuff, will take care of itself, but at the end of the day, we want to take care of these guys and have fun doing it, because there's a great group of dudes in that locker room that we all love dearly.
Matt, you were here when Pete left and you went through that transition. So how do you relate that experience to kind of what you're dealing with now, that you're kind of on the other side of it as a coach, obviously.
Yeah, it seems like a long, long time ago, with that change back in 2013, and so there's obviously similarities whenever there's a change going on. The vibes are always different. There's different ways to skin a cat, so to speak, and a lot of things that were changed back then in 2013 when Coach Harsin came in, and the same thing when Coach Av came in, and there's a similar process going on now with Coach D. And so sometimes change is good, sometimes change is weird, it's awkward, right, for guys, but at the end of the day, like, this is kind of to lock arms and attack this day, every day, minute to minute, together with these guys in that locker room and have a lot of fun doing it together.
I mean, if you watch practice, there just seems to be a different energy, man. It just seems like there were a lot of smiles. I don't know, how would you kind of just describe that mood that you've experienced these last 2 days?
Yeah, I just think with all the things that happened, I think our guys are excited to go play on Saturday. I think we've talked about that before in here, even after anything that kind of happens, the best medicine is to go out there and play the game on Saturday. And I think our guys are really, really excited about the opportunity that's in front of them. And it showed up on a Tuesday practice, and it showed up on a Wednesday practice, and it's going to carry over the meetings we're going to have this afternoon, because they are excited to go out there and play this game, because there's a lot of things to play for still.
Has anything been decided on Eric McAllister's potential return?
No.
When you look at the two guys that got a lot more playing time, Strawn and Bolt, what did you think they did well against New Mexico? They both got long passes for touchdowns. And where do you want to see them take their game in the next couple games?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that's awesome to see. Austin, his first career touchdown. It's been a long time coming for him. For Prince, it's the same guy. I mean, it's like he's the guy you guys ask every single week of when he's going to have the opportunity, and we knew he had that in him, and he got those opportunities. He made the most of them, and super proud of both those guys, how they've been preparing behind closed doors and in the shadows, and they had their opportunity in front of the bright lights, and they both took advantage of it. And super excited how they're continuing to grow and develop here moving forward.
That is one of the positives of all this with Eric McAllister leaving, is you saw Prince Strawn and you saw Austin Bolt really get a chance to step up and make some plays for Boise State. I thought both those guys played very well, scoring the touchdowns. And if I'm one of those guys, heck with Eric McAllister, man. I just scored a touchdown. Why should I be giving up my playing time to a guy that didn't want to be here, regardless of whether he had issues with Andy Avalos or not? I think that Prince Strawn, Austin Bolt, and I think you're going to see more of them. I think Billy Bowens is going to move more over to the slot. And now that you don't have Steph Cobbs either due to injury, I think you're going to see Prince Strawn and Austin Bolt on opposite sides of the field. So look for that tonight, getting Prince Strawn, Austin Bolt on the field at the same time. And Taylon Green throws a beautiful deep ball. I'm excited to see how many of those they can connect with Prince and Austin Bolt running go routes tonight. So excited for tonight's game. Should be a lot of fun. And again, the post-game show will be a little abbreviated, but we'll have a full post-game show. I will be on the phone. I am driving to the airport right after we do the interviews, and we'll be attempting to catch a midnight flight. It's going to be a pretty tight. I'm a little nervous, to be honest with you. The game's going to end about 8:30. I'm hoping we can do the interviews and be on the road by about 9:15. Would put me at the airport about 10:45. That we board the flight at 11:20, and then I've got to return a car, and then we're wheels up at around midnight for Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a 2-hour drive to get to Clemson, and then we'll have coverage tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, pregame show courtside at the Little John Arena for Boise State basketball against Clemson. So look forward to that tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. But we will have a postgame show, so about 30 to 45 minutes after the game. We'll try to get the interviews uploaded before I leave. We'll see if we can do that, but at a minimum, we'll have myself and Kent Riddle breaking down the game. You won't see my pretty face here. I'll just be on the audio. We've got a graphic created, but I'll be on the audio, and then Kent Riddle will be at his computer, and we'll have plenty of post-game coverage afterwards. So you want some analysis on this game, you want to chat in the chat with your friends about this game, about 30, 45 minutes after the game. It may be a train wreck. I'm going to be driving on the road. I may not have a signal. Who knows if Kent Riddle can figure out how to use his computer. It may go horribly wrong, and you should be there drinking a Cutwater to witness all of it, as I am trying to get down to the airport to fly out to get to Clemson. So I still wanted to do the post-game show. Originally, Mike Sanford was going to help me host it, and then he's going to see Jordan Love and the Packers play tomorrow. So I will be hosting it while driving to the airport. So I'll be on my AirPods, and I'll have put my hands on the wheel. Don't worry. But you won't have me on camera. You'll just have my audio, and then we'll have Kent Riddle as well. So looking forward to that after the game. So enjoy the game, and then come back afterwards for the post-game show here on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. So we've had a uptick in subscriptions. I think we're above 80 subscriptions since the start of November. So thank you all very much for doing that. If you can support us, BNN 50 deal is the promo code. BNN 50 deal is the promo code, and you get a 1-year subscription for $50. We'd love to have you, but if not, you can't afford it at a minimum, we ask you to please subscribe over here, the little red button, subscribe on YouTube. It's free, and our YouTube channel is growing, and we would at a rapid rate here the last couple of weeks. We would love for you to jump on board. You can turn on your notifications, then you know when we go live for any breaking news broadcasts or any of our shows. That's the easiest way, is just turn on the notifications as a YouTube subscriber for BNN, and then you get a little notification on your phone saying BNN is live, and you can pop on after the game. So it says between Logan and Brigham City, it's spotty. After that should be fine. Yeah, I was thinking about that. We may wait till I get on the actual freeway to start the show a little bit later. So it's going to be raining and cold and wet. So just stay tuned, but there will be a post-game show. Maybe we say an hour after the game ends, gives us a little time to get going on the road there. But we will have a post-game show coming up for you. And then 10 hours later, we'll have a pregame show for you from Clemson, South Carolina. So, Stan Nicolason, appreciate you, Stan, and appreciate Taco Bell. We've given you a couple shout-outs today already, Stan, but we'll give you another one. The Nicolason family, SON management guys, they're doing a ton for Boise State athletics and the student-athlete scholarships that they've committed well over $300,000 to help them. And as I said, they're hiring. And if you want to go get, work for Taco Bell and get, free food and get paid part of your wages the very next day, what are you waiting for? Go get a job at Taco Bell. They'd love to have you. And as I said, it's a family-owned company. They've been doing it for 50-plus years, owning and operating Taco Bell locations in and around the Treasure Valley and the surrounding areas. And they are a major sponsor of Bronco Nation News. So please, 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 you still have 49 minutes to go get breakfast in the Treasure Valley, and I highly recommend their breakfast, but please support Taco Bell. Thank them for their sponsorship, and we can't do these shows. We can't make it all the way to Clemson, can't be a week in Orlando at the basketball tournament without the support of our sponsors, and they want to see a return on their investment as well. So please go eat at Taco Bell, support Stan and the Nicolason family, SON management. And Stan, I don't tell you enough, but sincerely appreciate your sponsorship of BNN, and you're making things like this trip possible. So thank you to SON management, the Nicolason family, and go eat at Taco Bell. And I want to make sure I give them one more plug here all the way. So let's see here. A couple more final score predictions. 38-35. Let's see, 37-13. That's one of the closest ones I've seen that I think I like. 51-28. Finally get that 50 burger that they had been promised in the Andy Avalos era. Jeremy, I don't think that's a super crazy prediction as well. So I could see 51-28 being a possibility tonight. So I don't think that someone's saying there's a plane being tracked with the San Jose State coach. I don't think that's the case. I would be pretty surprised if that's and they wouldn't be taking private planes already with 2 games left in the season to bring him as head coach. That's not happening. Jeremiah Dickey is here in Logan with the football team, so they're not in San Jose getting Brent Brennan to come coach the last 2 games. So we'll see. Let's see. That whole drive is pretty spotty. Hill after hill, Air Force Base in Layton, drive that way for work. Yeah. Like I said, it may be a complete train wreck, and maybe Kent Riddle is stuck talking by himself for half an hour. We'll have to figure it out. We'll see what we can do. Luckily, you're not going to have to see my face. It's just my voice, which maybe will make it a little bit better if for the connection on the post-game show. We'll see. May make Jaden Finch have to pop in there and do some of it himself. We'll see. So appreciate all you guys for checking us out. Thanks again to all of our sponsors, BVA Dev. We appreciate Tommy Alquist and company. Told you about them earlier, but if you're looking for a developer, you're looking for new space, Idaho's developer is BVA, and we check them out, bvadev.com. We appreciate their support of the show as well. And of course, our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. All your painting needs, whether it's industrial, commercial, residential, and we're talking interior or exterior, and of course those concrete coatings as well. Rowpaint.com, all your painting needs. Check them out, roepaint.com, our title sponsor, and we sincerely appreciate their support. So kind of like the gift that Jeremiah Dickey used the other day, the Joker one, the Here We Go. That's kind of what it's going to be for Bronco Nation News here. We got the football game, straight to the airport, straight to Clemson. Going to be awesome. Looking forward to it. Going to be a fun weekend for Boise State athletics. If you're a Boise State fan, It's going to be fun with the football game tonight and then waking up for a 10 a.m. pregame show tomorrow. 10 a.m., join us Mountain Time. 10 a.m. live with Abe Jackson courtside at the Little John Arena. So plan now to join us tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. for basketball coverage. We're on with the pregame shows about an hour before tip-off from every game the rest of the season. So keep that on your plans here moving forward. So thanks again to all of our sponsors. Thanks again to all of you. If you can, we'd love to have you. $50, promo code BNN50 deal. Full 1-year subscription, all the exclusive Mike Prater articles, my articles, the full 20-minute interview with Eric McAllister. You can watch that. So appreciate all your support. Give us a like on the video on YouTube and a subscription on YouTube as well, and that's all free. And again, check my Twitter account. We'll have video of the players walking in from the bus. We'll have warm-ups. We'll have all kinds of injury updates and things coming to our social media channels. And then join us here on YouTube for the post-game show coming up after the game. Again, maybe spotty. I'll be driving. It may be raining. We'll figure it out, but we will have a post-game show. Kent Riddle's thoughts after the game tonight. We'll get it to you at Bronco Nation News YouTube channel, Facebook channel, and Twitter account as well. And then, as I said, so make plans for the post-game show and then make plans 10 a.m. tomorrow to join us from Clemson, South Carolina for the pregame show for the basketball game as well. So appreciate all you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy some of the football. You got the BYU-Oklahoma game just starting, some other great games. And again, 5 o'clock, Boise State at Utah State. I'm feeling pretty good for the Broncos. I think that the events of the past week are going to have this team fired up and ready to go, and I'd be surprised if they didn't play well tonight. So we will talk to you guys in a little bit. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you from the stadium, Maverick Stadium, here in a couple hours. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you again for supporting Bronco Nation News. Go support the sponsors. Subscribe if you can, and we'll talk to you guys a little later from the stadium. Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.